is good. That doesn't have like a thing on it.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome.
So here's my understanding is, in the back of the 24/7s, there's like CODs. And without that, you're not really able to get to the thing you wanted do reasonably. And so as a consequence of this, you gotta hit them a decent amount. But it's not the frequency that's an issue, but that frequency does have an effect on the police department, right? They're probably seeing call after call after call after call. Now, what that is doing is it's getting them into a repetitive state of seeing robbery, 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 robbery. But on y'all's end of the spectrum, you don't even know what is and is not hit. So doing a plan of having a hostage and this and that isn't reasonable, because if you start going down that route, either A, driving a hostage around, which is dangerous, 2, not efficiently checking what's open and not, because you probably want to spread people out. But from the PD's perspective, when both of these things intersect, the PD seeing, oh my God, they brought a hostage late, they didn't prepare, when the reality is that you're doing the best that you can work with. But from the PD side, it's looking a different way, and it's creating kind of a jarring effect. Am I close?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. The reality is, the city as a whole, right, we are forced to go around and rob these 24/7s. And people might say, like, you know, you're not forced to do anything. We are forced, right? No one's been doing dog shit in the city for like 4 months. There's things that we can do, places where it can be, and at least some of them require us to hit these fucking stores, right?
Yeah.
When we open that door, there is no guarantee that there is anything behind it. But when I open that door, the police are going to be there. So,
that's the what?
Problem.
Wait,
that's the problem.
I haven't even seen inside. What do you mean open that door?
So the majority of the stores, right? Not all of them, but a majority of them have a locked door now that we can like break the lock on, right?
Wait, which door? Like where? The door to the back?
The door to the back, yeah.
Oh my God.
When I take my little lockpick set and I pop the lock off the door, right? It sets off the alarm, guaranteed. But when I pop the lock off the door, the safe might be already open or empty, you know what I mean? And that's what I want. I want the safe. And that's why there's a problem.
Now, if it is not empty, it probably takes a while to crack into it. I heard something about hacking. So you might like, pop the door open and there's no, I think this might be a Bug Stars thing.
That's exactly what my thought is. That's why when you were at the thing, I was like, yeah, we should talk, because it's not, I don't feel upset at the PD or like, you know, people like Peters when they're being like, no, you can't come back in. It's just a little bit odd. Because it's like,
I had a conversation about him with that. He asked me what I would do, and I've always been hostage and safety first. And if you do bring a hostage in, maybe they can be a little bit more like verbally aggressive, but at the end of the day, the hostage matters, which I think is distinctly different than them witnessing you take a hostage and y'all happen to be like, well, we're taking him to this robbery in X location. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, it's different, right? It feels like when we're there, we should have some leeway. But ultimately, I don't care what the current situation is, because we're playing a really kind of rigged game on both sides. So it's irrelevant. How it is now is irrelevant, because I think there's something that needs to be like addressed to make it work better for all of us.
I would recommend that you should write up a detailed thing to the security division of Bugstars. Because just at face value, because the thing is, like, what can I do, right? Yeah, I could kind of bubble something up, but this is kind of like slightly outside of the domain of the mayor's office. The second option is I can talk to the PD and try to bridge a gap, but I've learned recently with the PD and Southside setup I did, it brings a lot of heat to me from both the PD and Southside gangs, because ultimately, usually both ends of the spectrum want more than what is reasonable, and I tend to be the negotiator, so it ends up being like I end up having to negotiate for both parties, which ends up looking like I want this instead of I'm trying to get both of y'all something. You know what I mean? So
No, I understand. I've been there before.
yeah.
The thing is, as well, is like you going and talking to the PD and maybe like making some concessions. I think is irrelevant and won't work because
Mhm.
half the people doing this shit are not going to approach it like we do, and that's not a jab. It's just a fact, right? Like half the people trying to do the exact same thing as us won't come and have this dialogue about it, or like leave like we did with Peter just before. Like it won't work like that. So telling the police to play nice isn't going to work because it won't work both ways.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah,
my
I don't really think there's anything in
advocation.
your power.
Well, I can tell you that my advocation is going to be strictly focused on hostage safety, and that's what I care about. Why the fuck do I care if a 24/7 and some a little bit of money is taken versus the life of a hostage? And
Yeah,
but that mindset is very hard to crack through, and I was telling Jasmine this is PD historically has a very like algorithmic mindset, and it's because they are taught A plus B equals C, right? And you have to beat them into understanding that the equation needs to be different. It's why a lot of cops lose in court because no one has beaten them over the head with an alternative understanding. But in the same vein, imagine you're a cop and you go to a 24/7, 24/7, 24/7, and it's like you're taught they must have a hostage inside. If they don't, it's bad. They literally do not know how to operate when outside of the algorithm.
Oh yeah, and I mean we live with that like that's just a way of life here. Like that we
Mm-hmm.
understand, right? I mean most people I think understand that it's like if we approach the situation doing the steps in the wrong order, it's like oh we get shot. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. It's
Yep.
just when it gets this obsessive, where I reckon those pings are going off on the hour every hour times 10. It gets to a point where like it just becomes too much. You know, it's not like a maze bank once every 3 days. It's like every hour they're facing the same situation and they just want it to be solved in the same way. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, you know, from our perspective, it's like a lot more complicated than that. You know?
It's yeah, no, absolutely. And it's and to be fair too, the algorithmic shit is probably on the criminal end of the spectrum as well, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
counting cop cars or like, why is there a helicopter? When then in the reality, what it always comes down to is both parties don't know what the other party knows. It's a lot of it is assumption based and pattern based, right? Like people might not realize that person they took captive is actually a CI, right? Or whatever, right? Or in this case, on the cop side, they don't understand from their perspective, like, why are crims being lazy? Well, it's not that you're being lazy, it's that this is just the reality you're facing right now. But
To do it, yeah, we're not being lazy, but to do it in the way that fits their algorithm, we are literally torturing ourselves and torturing innocent civilians. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if you wanted to do it properly, I get up in a car with 4 people and we just drag some poor hostage to every single 24/7, every 30 minutes, as long as we're awake. That's how we do it to appease the police, you know, to match their algorithm, which just isn't feasible, and I
Oh
wouldn't do it.
my God.
Because like
I
plain
would
and
start
simple,
with the
when-
bug stars thing. I feel
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
going to resolve, like, let's say at least 50% of it.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, we're not pressed about it. I'm not bothered at all because I can see it clear as day. But it's like,
No, yeah, you're
it's a
fantastic.
complicated situation.
You're
Yeah.
what you're bringing up is gonna help everybody, and I'm glad you're doing so because until you mentioned this, I had a completely different understanding of what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hell yeah.
What do you think about Carl Pred running for the North?
I think I want him in the North. I think a lot of people are gonna not want to vote for him, and I get that. And even me being upfront about my desires is because fact of the matter is a singular disagreement and confrontation I had with the previous mayor led to just an entire county the DOJ slash marshals pretty much stonewalling and preventing it was just nonstop. Like, can't do this, can't do that, bad. And I want to see San Andreas progress. Pred and I may not agree on everything. We may fucking be in screaming matches. So be it. That's how it should be. But I can tell you that both of us are going to sit at the fucking table anytime it's necessary, right? And we can probably pass some statewide legislation that brings some fucking life into San Andreas. And starting with a fucking border. And making some things legal up north and some things legal down south and maybe illegal vice versa. And starting to see, like, certain businesses, like, things getting produced in the north, sold in the south. Vice versa again, right? Like, maybe weed is legalized to grow up north and sold down south. You got a proper license, you bring it to the Border Patrol. You bring it to the Border Toll, right? Like, shit like that is going to liven things up with very little effort. I mean, it'll be a lot of effort by me and Pred, but not the level of effort that would have been required in these last 3 months. Because, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Carl, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and Carl, you know, we're like that, right? I want to help him as much as I can. I don't know if I can be like a super hand involved in his, like, running campaign, but I want him to succeed because he said the same things that you said and the same things that I want, where it's like, I want there to be a reason to go to the north, you know what I mean? Like, I want some life there. And I don't know anything about Andy Jones, but other than that big TV, the north has been just as irrelevant as it was 8 months ago as it is now, in my perspective.
Well, yeah, 80% of her legislation was pro BCSO. She just hung out with them. That was all it is. It was, and I don't have any personal grievances with her, but at the end of the day, when it comes to, like, politics and responsibilities, I can't, like, remain silent on the ineptitude that office showed. It's simple as that. But I had people in Blaine County telling me, please, Nino, put someone else in the north. You know there's an issue.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, that's my intention. It's like our group's intention, I think. Well, they don't know that yet, but I'll make sure it's their intention.
Yeah.
And I have every intention as well of seeing you back in the south, because there really just isn't another option. I'm going to be honest. Like, if there was, and if there was someone I thought, I would tell you straight up, but there just isn't. I do not have literally 1% belief that the other two people are going to do the things that you and I have spent weeks and weeks talking about.
Yeah.
And still, we aren't even close to being done. Like, bro, my business account, I still can't give people access to.
Yeah.
Businesses are still completely and utterly dog shit. Like, it's still complete trash, bro. We're working with, like, fucking copper tools, bro, and we're in the information age.
Absolutely. And the reality is, look, transparently, I've been doing a lot of investments in Project 2030 for a very, very bright future of Los Santos. But that's going to be, God knows when those plans are going to be completed. And so the way I look at it is, for the longest time, people like Pred and myself have learned to build with nothing, with empty hands, right? And when I look at things like Mopec, and I look at things like this amp with we're trying to up the music industry now with the events and shit, just me and Pred being there, we can create business without needing much more tooling. And I think that's where we can excel, by bringing in people 100%. With a bit of creativity and imagination. And I know your crew more than anyone understands that.
Yeah, because it's like that's all we have. Like full disclosure, I personally think the stuff like the food court businesses, like they're dust, you know, like making that fun for everybody is not possible anymore. Like we're beyond that. The only idea that I have is I was thinking of just speaking to some of the other booths, and even if they don't agree, I was gonna like quadruple my prices so that I could pay people like $6K an hour to work there, so that people want to work there, and just like artificially make people there all the time because they're getting paid out their ass. Because it's the only way.
Yeah.
Like there's no other way. Like there's no other way to make that anything. It's not interesting. It's not fun. No one's there. Best I can do is charge out the ass and pay people a living wage.
The
That's only
reality
option.
is it's become a job that most people have exhausted themselves on, and that's understandable, right? That's, you know, I remember back when I used to do like G6, it was cool for a while, and then eventually, it
Yeah,
just,
but it's like the city needs to eat, and you know what I mean? Yeah, the city needs to eat, and we got people going like it's real bad, bro. We got people doing senior buns, you know what I mean, to feed themselves, which is not. I don't know, bro. Like it's as dumb as bricks. Doesn't make any sense.
yeah. I can certainly see what I can do in that respect.
Yeah, but again, like the type of stuff, the image you have, like you and Kyle, like that kind of mindset is the one that I think we need, because it's the
Yeah.
only way that the people like myself and my gang members and Miss Jasmine and yourself are gonna be able to last until fucking Project 2030. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
That's,
tough out here, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, we gotta do anything we can for all of our sakes.
I think that's been my biggest misery is I feel like my last 3 months has been fighting against stagnation and a reversal back pre-constitutional change when everyone in this city is screaming we need some change, like something that makes things feel different. That's all you need. Everything else is just fucking bells and whistles, you know. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what I want to do, like in terms of the new, is I want to actually build out the 5 districts: Little Seoul, Vespucci, Great Ocean, Cyprus, Mirapak, and Central Los Santos. Each one run by a district head. We might call it like, I don't know what we're going to call the title, but people are going to be able to put in their residencies, right? I'm a Los Santos resident from this district, and vote in your district heads. And you have power at the table with the mayor. I may have my cabinet, but you're at that table. That 6-person table. And like, you've seen like the whole like review board, right? I mean, it was
Yep,
good,
yeah.
but it loses steam, right? Who's the one? But so let's make it more interesting, right? Like the 5 fucking families type shit.
No, I think that's exactly what I said as like the 5 family, because it's like every person, right? It's good to butt heads because every person, right? You give these people power, you uplift them. We're gonna want what we want for our respective areas. You know what I mean? Like Little Seoul has a fuck ton of commercial properties all on a strip. That's like a specific type of ecosystem that's going to be a little bit different to like maybe Mirror Park, which is a lot more residential, and it's got, you know what I mean? Like, and it's all different groups controlling these spots. The discussions are going to be like, well, we want this, we want that. We're actually going to be able to like butt heads together and kind of push through what someone wants. You know what I mean? Like whoever's got the louder voice, I guess, or whoever's like, you know, better at the table, which is better than nothing, right? I would rather someone get something than none of us get anything.
Agreed. Yeah. That's really what it is at the end of the day, right? I think part of that is trying to drain out this. I mean, I'm going to say it, right? Is I think trying to reverse, how do I put this? A lot of things have been a bit of a rat race, right? You worked up your toe, right? You worked up your G6. You worked up to, you ended up finding your circle, right? You found your crew, whatever. Now that as a collective, you're down this rat race. It's kind of segmented people in their own little circles, and I need to find a way to pop some of those bubbles a bit. And
bro, like the way you worded that is exactly how it is right now. For example, we're facing this big problem of farming, right? No one wants to farm. Farming is hell. I'm not saying fix farming, but what I'm telling people, right, is the state the city's in, there's a lot of things that we need to do, right? But not a lot of people to do those things anymore. So now the leftovers, who's still here, who's still, you know, working towards Project 2030, motherfuckers are going to go, they have to farm for themselves. When no one's at the food court, they got to go cook their own food because there's no other option. Like we are literally being forced to do things that the way the city the way that the infrastructure is built, it's built on the back of people doing these jobs. But it's like there's no janitors anymore. You know, there's no garbage men. Like I'm picking up my own garbage, recycling it myself. You know what I mean? I'm sewing my own clothes. You know what I mean? Like we're filling every role,
Yeah.
and it makes it infinitely more unfun because it's like everything turns into a fucking side quest. It's like, oh, bro, like, hey,
yeah.
let's make some moonshine, right? No
Yeah.
one can grow the fucking moonshine, you know, mash.
Oh my
I'll
God!
just do it
I bet your
myself.
shit is all low quality now.
Well, not low quality, right? But it's like, I don't know. If there was 10 people to complete every single role in the city now, you know what I mean? Like, you know, round that up, maybe like 100 people to do every single role you can think of. I reckon right now there's maybe like some roles that a field that supplies other fields has like less than 10 people. There's like 2 farmers in the whole fucking lemon list that aren't already attached to a gang or a group. So it's like, oh, you wake up, I need a farmer. No farmers. All right, back to bed. Because it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if you need a job to supply you with something and they're not there, what do I do now? Like, we got gangsters farming fucking carrots because I can't get the booth moving because there's no other farmers anymore. Like, it's ridiculous.
And then you got people like fucking poor JJ, who I think his spirit was burst the moment he was treated like a piece of shit criminal. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like
that
Jesse
one,
Johns, that's AJ?
you know, I stopped waking up for a couple days after that.
What happened to him? I wasn't around.
Bro, this guy got, I think you guys may have shot him up, but whatever, right?
Maybe.
But it wasn't what you guys did. It's that he was immediately arrested for being in a gang related.
Ah, yeah, because yep. Classic.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was just like, when I think like civilian, I think of like JJ. Like,
oh yeah. He is the ultimate civilian, and I say that with like respect.
Yeah.
Ultimate in the way that he does it the right way. He's not a fucking, you know what I'm saying, like Mr. Buy every property and resell them civilian. You know, he's a real
Mr.
one.
What is his name? Bruce something?
Oh, that guy's sick in the head. You know, he told Chaos Legion in full seriousness that it's hard work waking up early to buy all those houses. He said that in full seriousness. When he sold them their
Bruce
like
Baylor, right?
Yeah, that guy's sick. He's sick in the
Oh my God! Wait, he's dead. He owns Cypress Abattoir Avenue 5.
Bro, no.
I think. Yeah, see, this is what I heard. Look, Polito Boulevard, 43, 41, 29, 40. This is so yikes. Didn't this guy go to jail?
I mean, it beats me, man. Beats me. I think they could send it back 10 for fucking 10 years. He'd still be richer than my whole gang combined.
Where did he get this money from?
Listen, I don't know, bro. I've been around for 8 months, and I wake up broke every day. I don't know.
You know what my fucking question is? Is that these fucking dog shit marshals that spend all their fucking time, like, trying to fucking fist my asshole, Pred's asshole, fucking Peter's asshole, Daisy's asshole, they don't notice this? Like, shit like this? Like, how do I learn about shit like this and be like, I wonder what's happening?
It's because
sometimes I wish I could have a fucking nuclear bomb and just fucking drop that shit on their fucking stupid asses.
Oh, I wish.
I'm just looking at the docket real quick.
No.
Like, tell me this isn't gonna obviously lead to tax evasion.
I mean, listen, bro. Like, I don't know anything about the motherfucker except he's Mr. Worldwide, every property in the city. But surely he's doing something wrong.
Yep,
you know what
right
I mean?
here.
Like, legally.
The People versus Bruce Baylor. It says it's coming soon. Oh, this is new. Wait, what is it? Weiss accepted search warrant as a part of ongoing discovered substantial quantity of illicit material on premises. Wait, they're not even saying what it is.
Bro, that raid's about to last a whole fucking week, bro. Raid the whole fucking city.
You'll Fangstro.
I don't know who this is that posted it. Oh, okay, Marshall's, wait, witness list. Wait, who's... I am so confused.
Alright, just let you know the storm is appearing.
I'm gonna cook on this because I'm looking at this and I'm assuming that this is related to moonshine because it says BB Farms and...
I mean, probably right. Every person that's farming is doing moonshine, like full stop. Like, I'll say that, like on record, bro. Like that's just how it is. Any farming business does moonshine, full stop. That's a fact.
Wait, it's... Wait, motion to freeze assets. The defensive bank account will not be frozen. However, the defendant is prohibited selling, transferring any properties owned until... Oh my God. So this guy had enough to buy all these properties. Oh my God.
Yeah, he buys properties. So the most recent one I know is he bought one for 500K.
Weapons
He
trafficking.
sold it for 700.
Listen. Weapons trafficking, bootlegging, money laundering, 5 times criminal possession firearm. This guy... What the fuck is this?
Man's a whole fucking gang on his own.
I hope that these guys have the realization that they need to find out that this guy bought a shitload of properties.
I mean, he advertises, bro, on the lemon list. He literally says that he's doing house auctions, right? Like he is a realtor, a self-proclaimed realtor. Like if you can't figure it out, like you got like a dent in your head.
To be fair, it's part of me wants to not hate the hustle. But you know, it's not set up. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Holy shit!